Hello and welcome back to another episode of Manly Made Minutes Monday Moments, where I share tips, tricks, and helpful hints for all of you. I am Shawn with Manly Made Minute. So today, super quick tip that I have for you, and this is about your glass mat or your crafting mat. I have the Tim Holtz glass mat, and so this is more of a friendly reminder and what I use it for. So let's go down to my mat, and so I can kind of walk you through one of the tips that I do, since I don't have any like sticky mats and those things to hold down my stencils and my card bases and stuff when I'm either ink blending or using stencils. This is my little trick and my little tip of what I do until I have a chance to invest into some other tools. So let's take a look. All right. Here is my little setup, and as you can see, I have the Tonic Studios Tim Holtz glass mat. I believe when I purchased this is the large mat. This is the one that has your little blending area on the side. It also comes with a little mat for doing your like ink smushing and those types of things. And then you've got your big area here with your grid and measurements. So one of the biggest things that I use this for, and this is just a reminder of, don't forget that we have a measuring tool here if you have some sort of mat or crafting mat or glass mat that has this grid on it, because we always tend to grab our rulers, right? So I have this triangular architectural ruler that I use quite a bit when I use the inches side. I also have my T-square ruler to line up, like when you're doing, lining up greetings and those types of things to keep things straight, right? This one is more of a tip when I am doing a lot of multiple cards that I need them all to look the same, and all if I'm making like a gift set or something. And so this is about lining up stencils and keeping stencils nice and neat and not keeping your card moving, and then you have the same measurement on each card as you go through. So here's my card base. What I generally do is I'll take some painter's tape. If I am using it a lot, or I'm worried about tearing, I'll just take and like stick it on my skin and kind of get it unsticky, or I'll stick it on my shirt several times to kind of get some lint off, just so it's not as sticky. Not too concerned about it right now because it's going to be on the back of my card. I just want to make sure I release this easy. So I'm going to put this on the back of my card. If I'm doing multiples, I will take and line up on the big center, more prominent lines. I'll line up in the corner of those lines so that I know where to put my card stock every single time for multiple cards, okay? Then let's just say I want this stencil to be lined up like so on every card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up with my grid so I can keep it nice and even, because I've got a straight edge here and a straight edge here. And I'm just going to line this up, say, we'll go on the bottom side here. I'm going to line this up with the bottom of my card so that the flowers are where I want them to be. If I want these off the edge, I might lower this so that the flowers are off the edge. Let's do that. And then line it up with one of my grid lines, and then make sure I'm lined up on a grid line this direction of where I want it. So I'm going to line up with this dotted grid line and this solid grid line here. Then, so I can create a little hinge or a little door so that this doesn't move from card to card, I'm going to take a big strip of painter's tape and tape it down on this bottom edge, making sure that I'm still lined up where I want it to be, not over the card, so that when I ink blend, I'm not leaving a line here. It's not over the card. And then I'll use this as my door, right? So now I've got a hinge here to remove this and put the next one down and keep doing this, so I have a set of cards, right? They're all looking the same. Now, if I have a very intricate stencil that needs to be tight, because sometimes those lift, I might take maybe some thinner stuff here on the side and tape the sides down to keep it nice and tight and not moving, like so. So now I've got it nice and tight. That way I can hold here with my fingers. I actually might take on the top here and mask that off. I just have these at my desk here right now with some sticky notes so that that doesn't get covered with ink at the top. I tend to get a little messy. That way nothing gets on the top of my card. I got it nice and tight, and now I can just ink blend. And if I'm going to do another card, I would remove these. I'd lift these side ones up, hinge this, remove this, use this on my next card base. So I'm going to take a new card base, place that down, place it in the same exact spot as the last one in that corner of the 2 solid lines. Rehinge this and tighten it down. And there you go. Now, if you're using multiple colors over this, you might have to wipe this. I will wipe mine with alcohol because it dries easier. So I'll take this up, remove my card, wipe this with alcohol front and back, wipe my glass with alcohol front and back, let that dry, place the new one down and hinge. There you go. That is my little use of recreating a tool that I don't have, but something that I can still use because I've got other alternatives that I can use with measuring. You can use this to measure versus this to measure if you're trying to measure something. But I use this as my alignment guide. I would say 90% of the time, as well as what I blend on and things. And then I use this and the other mats for like watercoloring and different things off of here. Watercoloring, same thing. I can line this up, tape it down to keep my paper nice and taut and use it here too. So there you go. All right, there is a quick tip for this week. Don't forget the tools that you have. If you've got a glass mat or a crafting mat of some sort with a measuring guide, you can use it as an alignment guide or a watercolor tool or something to tape something down firm and keep it from moving. So just don't forget the tools that you have before you invest in something that you may not need or use as much. I do know that I do need some sticky mats and things like that, but those are my next investments. And so until then, I'll use something like this. Thank you so much for showing up this week for Manly Made Minutes Monday Moment, sharing tips, tricks, and helpful hints. Hit that subscribe and like button and the little bell for when I download my next video. And until next time, I'll see you then.